It has, it's just flown in so quick that it's hard to believe. I was horrified actually at the fact of having to make this speech because I'm shy most of the time. And until I actually looked into Google. I know all our search engines are available and all that crack. Google in our house settles everything. It settles all the arguments. But whenever I looked at Google, it said, don't worry about it. There's things you have to say, you know what I mean? But it says, I'm only the warm-up act for the best man. so once that became clear, I mean, that took all the pressure off. No bother. So one of the things I did have to do was, I have to welcome Mark into the family. And I know he's been part of the family for actually so long that I thought this day's never going to happen. But then, if you know Sharon, it was obvious this day was always going to happen. Because I know there's everybody's here telling their friends. And Monica, you know what I mean? She has the bridal book from she was 8 or 9. Because I can remember Anne used to bring home all of the magazines. We sat, we watched all the weddings on TV. Everything from Scott and Charlene through to Elton and David. I'm going to do a wee bit here. I'm going to be a bit like Michael J. Fox. So we're going to zoom back and forward in time here, like Back to the Future. But Sharon's fascinations with weddings went to whenever she left home and went to university. It was hard. She was homesick, and to be honest, we thought she was going to land back home again with us. But by good grace, she met, I'm looking for them here, Anne and Jeff. Hands up, Jeff. That's it, Jeff, I see. Anne and Jeff took Sharon under their wing, and with patience and understanding and a lot of fantastic Sunday dinners, and white wine, they made Sharon feel at home. So, thinking on that, if Sharon hadn't stayed, she would never become a teacher. She'd never worked in Morbid. She'd probably never met half of us here. And she definitely never would have met Mark. So Anne and Jeff's probably to blame here today. Which is really ironic, because whenever she met Anne and Jeff, although they were a devoted couple, they had absolutely no intention of getting married. But a few years later, and if you ask Jeff to this day, he doesn't even know what happened. All down to a yellow post-it. Is that right, Jeff? Yeah. Sharon also had a thing not only with marriages, but about post-its. I used to think I was last to bed. And I'd wake up in the morning, there was a post-it stuck to my boot. Dad, frost on the road, be careful on the roads, love Sharon. So Anne and Jeff's here today as, well, not really Mr. and Mrs. Palmer, but they are here as husband and wife. That's another story for a different day, isn't it? Back in time again, to when Sharon was a wee girl, no, not wee girl, we'll say tiny girl. Because remember that, because I'm going to come back to that in the future. You see what I've done there? The house would have been full. Our house is always full of wee girls. Actually, this morning, minded me on the bit. All the high pitched and the fighting and the squealing. That was only the bridesmaids this morning. We would have played weddings. Where is she? Oh, Laura's up there, aren't you, Laura? They would have sneaked into Anne's bedroom, took out a pair of high heel shoes, always the best in the house, then into the hot press, pair of net curtains. Sharon would have pirouetted into the curtains. Laura would have pegged the clothes peg in her back, always on the back, even fashion conscious then. And then a net curtain over her head, as a veil on a train. Which Laura would have carried. What you done this morning? I said, look, careful of the curtains here, Laura. So they would have this procession would go up our hall, past Anne in the doorway, laughing and crying like it was a real wedding, to Natalie, Where's Colby? He's to blame for this. There he is. Natalie would have had a sock stuck down the front of her shirt here, or her jumper. Why a sock? This is the 80s we're talking about here. All men wore white socks all the time, everywhere. Weddings, funeral, bar mitzvahs, nights out, nights in, white socks. So she was a priest. A wee book in her hand. But not just any priest. She was always Father Donnelly. So that was another example of the wedding. Now, I said I would come back to Tiny. This is a favourite quote of Sharon's. From a guy, I don't know, he read a few songs or a few letters or whatever. William Shakespeare. But he made a quote and it goes something like, though she be tiny, she be fierce. So we've described the tiny part of her. Now comes the fierce. This is only just, and this only applies to the students. Sharon is fierce patient. And that's only with the students.
Only with the students.
Yeah. For her friends, fierce funny, fierce loyal. For us, her family, fierce loving and fierce giving. And for Mark, well, probably just fierce, actually. So we're going to go back to Google again, and this is the point where Google says I should now disperse my pearls of wisdom. I know, Cal, this won't take long. But two pearls of wisdom. Sorry, Sharon, these are from the groom's point of view. I never was a bride, so I don't know. But the first part of wisdom, Mark, is that in all cases, all without exception, you are the boss when Sharon's not there.
Very good.
Now, the second part of wisdom, and just watch around here. See all these guys sitting here now with their wives, their girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, whatever. They all know these two words that'll make a long and a beautiful marriage. And those two words are, well, watch for the smiles, because they all know. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. And yes, dear. Where are we at? Sorry. Now, I'd like to just think back in time and think on the people that aren't here today. On Sam and Hazel and on Anne. And although I never actually met Sam and Hazel, I've met Mark, and for me, that speaks volumes. You're a lovely fella. So just one last thing now, if you'd all like to join me in a toast for a long and a happy marriage for Mark and Sharon.
Mark and Sharon. Well done, Barney.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for all listening.